It began with an envelope, crisp, plain, white, slipped into my palm by my wife's boss during the company's Thanksgiving party. He leaned close, too close, and whispered through the scent of expensive whiskey, "Don't open this here. Go home. Pack a bag. You have 24 hours." His eyes didn't blink, not once. I stood there in the golden light of chandeliers, surrounded by laughter, champagne, and false smiles. My wife, draped in silver, was laughing at something a junior executive said, her hand resting too comfortably on his wrist. My stomach twisted, but my face didn't move. I excused myself, left my drink untouched, and drove home in silence. At midnight, I sat at my desk, the envelope before me. I didn't open it right away. I just stared, feeling that strange electric dread that hums before a storm. When I finally tore it open, a single sheet slid out. Typed words. No signature. "You think she's faithful? Check the credit cards. The travel dates. The villa in Switzerland isn't yours." For a long time, I just stared at that line. Isn't yours. Then I folded the paper neatly and placed it back in the envelope. I didn't sleep that night. Morning came like a slow funeral. My wife hummed in the kitchen. Bacon, perfume, lipstick too red for breakfast. I watched her from the hallway, her back straight, her movements rehearsed. When she noticed me, she smiled as if she hadn't already buried me alive. "You're up early," she said. "Couldn't sleep," I replied. I didn't tell her about the envelope. Not yet. That weekend, she said she was traveling for a conference. Zurich. 5 days. She left her itinerary on the counter. An almost perfect act of innocence. Almost. I remembered the line, "Check the travel dates." That night, I sat in her study, opening files she thought were locked. Statements, receipts, hotel bookings under Mrs. Laura Crane. But the companion listed wasn't me. It was Mr. Jonathan Hale, her boss, the same man who gave me the envelope. That's when I understood. He wasn't warning me. He was provoking me. A test, a game, or maybe guilt, turned into one final act of mercy. My pulse was steady, my breath calm, but something inside me had already died. I didn't confront her, not yet. Instead, I watched, listened, waited. I checked the flight logs, cross-referenced hotel bookings. I found hidden transfers, money moved quietly, bit by bit, to an account under her maiden name. Enough to start over. Enough to vanish. In public, I played my part, the loving husband, the patient fool. At dinner, she laughed easily, too easily. When she touched my hand, I noticed how practiced it felt, like she'd been studying the motions of affection, but not the emotion itself. At night, while she slept beside me, I scrolled through her messages on a hidden backup cloud. The words burned. He doesn't suspect anything. After Thanksgiving, it's done. I didn't know if it meant the marriage or me. So I prepared. Quietly, methodically. I moved my assets, sold the stocks she didn't know about, transferred property titles. The villa in Switzerland, my villa, apparently, was legally under a holding company. I changed that overnight. By the time she returned from Zurich, she thought she owned the world. I had already taken it from her. The truth arrived in a folder. Photos, bank statements, emails. I didn't need to hire anyone. People tell you everything if you ask the right questions quietly enough. That evening, she came home late, hair slightly disheveled, eyes bright from lies. She dropped her coat, kissed my cheek, and pretended nothing was wrong. I handed her the folder. No words, just that. She frowned, opened it, flipped through the pages. I watched the color drain from her face. "Where did you—" "Does it matter?" I interrupted. Her mouth trembled. She tried to speak, then closed it again. I waited, silent. Finally, she whispered, "You don't understand." "No," I said quietly, "I do. Perfectly." She reached for my hand, but I stepped back. Her breath broke. Tears came, but they looked rehearsed too. I felt nothing. Only the slow, quiet satisfaction of control returning. A week later, she called during my business trip. Her voice was trembling. "Your daughter-in-law called," she said. "They're hosting Thanksgiving," she said. I cut her off. "I know." Hours later, my daughter-in-law called too. Her voice sharp, commanding. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes." I smiled faintly. The arrogance was genetic. "Enjoy," I said, and hung up. 3 days later, I posted a few photos online. Just enough light, just enough shadow. A dining table overlooking Lake Geneva. Crystal glasses, firelight reflected on marble floors. The caption was simple: "Grateful for peace." My phone rang 71 times that night, first from my daughter-in-law, then from my wife. I didn't answer any of them. Now the house is quiet. The kind of quiet that feels earned. I pour myself a drink, stand by the window, and watch the snow settle on the villa's roof. The reflection in the glass doesn't look like me anymore, and that's fine. Once I would have called what I did revenge. Now I call it equilibrium. They took what they could from me: time, love, trust. I took back what they valued most: certainty, security, the illusion of control. I didn't raise my voice, I didn't fight. I just let them see the life they thought they'd inherit, from the outside, through the glass, forever. I sip the drink, taste the calm, and smile faintly. She'll call again eventually. They always do. But I'll never pick up. Some echoes don't deserve an answer.